Hello and welcome back to the Riverside review. It is me, Cal Owen, back with another review of Middlesbrough. I have no idea what's happened to this club over the last few weeks. It's been absolutely amazing to watch all these signings coming into the club. And yeah, we're just going to spend today basically talking about the new signings. You've probably seen them all over socials about the new players we've had coming in. I just want to basically put this out on my thoughts, my opinions on the players we've brought in. Potentially do a starting 11. So build a starting 11 to how I would see these players being brought in. But ultimately just some early season predictions about how I think this upcoming season is going to go. I apologise if you can't really see too much of my face. I am recording this in the evening. I have got a light on to my left, but clearly you can only see about half my face, so I do apologise. I will try and get most videos in future in a better lit environment or during the day. And if you've wondered why you've not seen my ugly mug on your screens for a while, I've just taken the summer off to basically kind of just sort some stuff out personally, and I'm no longer in Scotland. I mentioned in one of my other videos that I'd moved to Scotland. I'm now back in England, so yeah, Scotland didn't plan out as well as I'd hoped, but it is what it is at the end of the day. But anyway, yeah, let's just jump straight in, shall we, with the Borough, because there's a lot to cover. Hopefully this video won't be too long. I do apologise if it is, but yeah, very much looking forward to this season. So we'll start off at the bottom rather than the top. We'll start off at the bottom and work our way up. So I don't want to go too far back. So we'll start right here with Jeremy Sarmiento. So couple of points on Sarmiento. Of course, he came in on loan last season from Brighton. He came in as this championship promotion kind of like magic man. You know, he was supposed to come in, help us push from promotion. He's done it like 2-3 times in the past, and he just didn't deliver. It's like every time we saw him down that wing, he'd try and do something fancy. He'd do step overs and like all manner of stuff that just wasn't necessary. And just, we needed goals. I mean, it was plain and obvious, like all season, that we just needed goals, and someone who should be able to provide us goals on those flanks that we can attack from just wasn't giving us the goals we needed. And penultimately, I think that Sarmiento's appointment to the Borough, so I'm just adjusting the camera, was quite a poor one, and the fact we've gone on and signed him on a permanent is probably the worst bit of business I've seen Borough do this window so far. There is another one, but that one's a little bit more under the radar, and I will explain my reasons why later on. But Sarmiento for 3.3 million, as you can see there, it's not a huge amount of money, but in the Championship, 3 million is still a decent amount. So I don't know. I think he can turn it round. I think with a full season under Hellberg, and obviously going through pre-season and having last season to kind of reflect and build upon, you know, we might be able to see the Sarmiento we were promised when we brought him in on loan last season. Potentially he could be playing as a right-handed winger, right-sided midfielder to kind of replace Morgan Whittaker. We'll come into that later on. That's more in the rumoured portion of the video. But as of right now, Middlesbrough have signed Jeremy Sarmiento on a permanent deal from Brighton Hove Albion for 3.3 million. Going to the next one, these are some we've let go into free agents. You've got Sammy Silvera, Alex Gilbert, Dara Lanahan and John McLaughlin, along with Marcus Force and Danny Barlasser. So I've got a few names there. Like, I mean, everybody knows Borough. You know, if you're a Borough fan and you're here because you're a Borough fan and you like watching Borough play, you know our record with injuries is just ludicrous. You know, no matter how deep our squad depth is, we always seem to have injured players, and we're playing players out of position. I mean, how many games did Alan Brown spend at right back last season? Like, apparently Aidan Morris has played right back. I've never seen him play right back, but people have said that he's played there. You know, we've had fullbacks playing at centre back. You know, it's just been crazy, and you know, it seems like no matter how many players we get in, we're always playing out players out of position. Usually towards the middle of the season, you know, December, January, February. That's when you start seeing the injuries. You know, when we should be bringing players in during the January transfer window. You know, that's when we should be stockpiling. You know, some of these free agent pool players. You know, players. You know, for the youth and for the future and stuff. That's when we should be getting them in, because we're playing players out of position. Sometimes it works. Like Alan Brown, I've got to give Alan Brown his props. I really wish he signed on, because although he didn't have a great season with Borough, I think he flew heavily under the radar. Like, he was the guy in midfield. You know, when Hackney and Morris either came off or just weren't performing, you could rely on Alan Brown to just sort out that midfield. And like I said, he played at right back as well, and I really miss Alan, man. I thought he was perfect. He's exactly what Borough need in terms of like experience, especially the Championship. I don't know. Maybe we'll sign him on in future before he retires. But I think it's the end of the Alan Brown era. But you've got to give him his props. He was a really good addition, a really good asset, and yeah, unfortunately Borough haven't signed him on. But it is what it is at the end of the day. Sammy Silvera, I mean, not much to say. His position as a left wing back, you know, he played pretty much everywhere. He played on the right, played on the left. You know, he even played centre mid a few times. He was just a really good squad player. I think we should have kept him, definitely for that depth. But I think he's been linked with MK Dons. I think he's been linked there. Whether that has been made or not, I have no idea. It could just be a rumour, but as far as I've seen, a move to MK is on the cards for Sammy Silvera, and I wish him luck in the future, because he really is a good player. Alex Gilbert, what to say about Alex Gilbert? I mean, he had some good moments. He did. I mean, there was that game that he came on and scored 2 goals. But overall, you know, just your bog standard squad player. I think he just didn't fit Hellberg's system, and we've just parted ways. Dara Lenihan, this kills me, man. This really does. Dara was one of my favourite players, and you're probably like, Cal, how's Dara one of your favourite players? He ain't played in 2 years. You know, he's always injured. But I just feel like when he came on, you know, he was consistent, he was reliable, and, you know, he just got the job done. And that was Dara. But he is ageing, he's injury prone, and he's just not getting game time with the likes of our current defensive choices. So, sad to see him go, but it is what it is. For me, one of my absolute favourite Borough players, one of my favourite Borough players, and yeah, sad to see you go, Dara, but good luck in future. John McLaughlin, Scottish goalkeeper, came in for some experience. I don't understand why football clubs, you know, have 3 keepers. I mean, they rarely use 2 of them. So I guess he was just kind of brought in for some experience. I swear he signed on for another year, so I'm not sure why it's come up as a free agent. I could have sworn he signed on for another year. I have to check into that. But yeah, obviously I'm getting all of this off FootMob. This is not sponsored in any way, but I'm literally just reading the transfer list here and giving my opinions and stuff. So let me know down below in the comments if McLaughlin has stayed on for another year. I thought he had. I could have sworn I read somewhere with Borough that he signed on for another year, but might not be the case. Marcus Force spent a lot of time out on loan. He was at Bolton last season. I couldn't tell you much about him. He's very much like Alex Gilbert, Sam Silvera. He's just a squad player. Nothing super special. And Danny Barlasser spent his time last season over in the Scottish League, over at Hibernian. Yet again, nothing special. Decent squad player, but out on a free. Now to the big one. The Teessider. The young, homegrown talent. The man from Redcar. Hayden Hackney. Oh man, it kills to read this, to see him go, but we all knew it was going to happen. If we didn't get promoted last season, he was going on to bigger and better things. And honestly, Hacks, I wish you all the best at Everton, man. It's absolutely... Oh, I just wish he'd stayed on. If we didn't get promoted this upcoming season, and you wanted to leave, fair enough. But full season under Hellberg, I think you could have done massive things, and especially with all the players we're bringing in. Yes, I know that the money we got from him is also a big part of why we were able to bring in all these players, but honestly, Hayden was our guy. We had to let him go in the end. And like I said, I do wish him the best at Everton. I just can't wait to see what he does. But Hayden Hackney is, I believe, the last of the outs for this portion. Now let's talk about the ins. Hang on, I've just seen another out, and we'll get to him in a minute. The ins, we've got Miles Peart-Harris from Oxford. Brilliant. Free transfer. We've got ourselves a good player. Squad player, can play on the left, the right. They can even play in like a 6 or an 8 role as a centre mid. So we've got a brilliant squad player here. I've not seen enough of him to really get much from him personally. But let's have a quick look at his stats. Do apologise if there's a bit of lag or slowness with the internet. We've had a few issues locally with the internet, so I do apologise. As we can see, he's listed as a left winger attacking midfielder. He's very good at his aerial duels, which is nice to see. Let's just see if we can get his stats. So he made 20 appearances, scoring 3 goals. So he's not an out and out goal scorer. He won't be poaching goals for Borough, but maybe we can see some goal contributions, some assists. He got 1 assist and started 18 games, but only 2 yellows, so doesn't get booked very often, which is nice. But yeah, hopefully we'll see some more goals and assists from Miles Peart-Harris through Borough this season. Heading back into the transfers, this is where it's going to be a bit slow. We've got Dale Fry moving to Birmingham. Should have kept him. He was a youth academy player. He was a Teessider. Why didn't we keep him? Why didn't we sign his contract? For him to go for nothing as well hurts even more. If he went for a fee, okay. But the fact we've said no to signing a contract with him, and we let him go to Birmingham, at least let him go to a Premier League club or a club outside of Europe. Letting him go to another Championship club that are potentially going to push for the playoffs is kind of a bit of a kick in the balls there. But yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day. Danny Barlasser, has gone to MK Dons. It's just putting that up here. So he's gone to MK Dons, and I think Sammy Silvera is going to go there as well. So just a little bit more on Dale Fry. Just kind of cut myself off there. Yeah, it's a shame to miss out on him. Like I said, I think we should have just signed another deal, but maybe there was some stuff behind the scenes. Maybe Dale wanted a different challenge at a different club. Maybe he just wanted to meet Tom Brady. We never know. But Dale flies to Birmingham. It's a shame that he's gone, but it is what it is at the end of the day. And I've just seen John McLaughlin has signed another year deal at the Borough. I don't know why it's organised like that. I don't know why it's not just said that he's staying at the Borough, but it is what it is. Sorry, I'm just gonna move this behind me. There. See if I can get a bit better lighting. There you go. See my ugly mug a little bit clearer now. So we're gonna get into the strikers. I'm gonna talk about these two as a pairing. Honestly, Carl Joseph from Hull City and Will Lancashire from Tottenham. Obviously, Will Lancashire I think he got 12 goals last season for Oxford. A pretty low block team. They sat back. They didn't press much. I think they drew against us. I think it was like 1-1, 2-2, something like that, against us last season. Yeah, Will Lancashire, Spurs fans saying that he's going to be the next Harry Kane. We've got England fans saying he's going to be the next Harry Kane. So if Borough have just managed to buy, not loan, buy the next Harry Kane, I'm expecting at least, 15 plus goals, from this lad this season. I know it's a big ask, but if you're selling us the next Harry Kane, who's going to play under Kim Hellberg, one of the best managers, if not the best manager in the Championship, I'm expecting bags. I'm expecting loads and loads of goals from this young lad. And he's only, 21, 22? 21 years old. He's younger than me. He stands at 6'2". I don't know. What can you say? 11 goals, 2 assists. He played 44 games with, like I said, an Oxford side that played a low block. He's got tons of potential. He's young. Hopefully he can be a Borough player for the next, 5 years. And, yeah, be that guy everybody believes he is. Bought him for 10 million. With about 10 million, 15 million in add-ons. So we have spent a fair chunk of change on Lancashire. But of course, I've seen a lot of people saying how are Borough spending all this money. A lot of it comes down to, we've sold Hackney for, 17 million. But yeah, it's like 10 million plus 7 in add-ons. We've got the release clause from Morgan Rogers. When he moved from Villa to Chelsea, we got the sell-on clause from that, which has allowed us to kind of give us even more money, considering he went for 117 million, breaking the Premier League transfer record. So, cheers Morgan for giving us that money. I'm sure we would have got some money for making it into playoffs. Yeah, runner-ups for the playoffs. I don't want to talk about that game. I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day. Borough have got all this money coming in, and unlike last season where we've just kind of bought some players, Cali Sen and David Strelic, 2 strikers that weren't proven at the English football level, and just didn't execute as well as we'd hoped. We've actually gone out and got established players and good squad players, which will hopefully help us very much so towards the push for the title this season. Talking about frontman, we've got Carl Joseph, signed from Hull. He's a Scotsman. Can't have enough Scots in the squad. Joins Tommy Conway and John McLaughlin, which is lovely. 96% in goal contributions, 69% in goals, 42 in shot attempts, with 98%, even more in aerial duels won. Started 44 games, got 8 goals, 5 assists. Love it. Play this guy as a 10, play him as a 9. I want to see this guy score some goals. I mean, as you can see, he's played for Hull, he's played for Blackpool. He's been on loan to Oxford, to Swansea, Cheltenham, Wigan. He's been around. He has been around. He scored 8 goals, 10 goals, 10 goals, 4 goals, 5 goals. So he seems to be consistent with scoring. Of course, didn't get any goals for Swansea at all, it seems. But it seems like he was loaned out anyway. But everywhere he's gone, he seems to have scored goals. So keeping an eye on Carl Joseph as well as Will Lancashire. Isn't he taller than Will Lancashire as well? I didn't think he was that tall. Maybe I've got Will's height wrong. I swear he was like 6'2". But jumping in next, Sebastian Berhalter. Great friends with Aidan Morris. I am sure you have seen the TikTok of them doing their TikTok dance. It's been like everywhere. Like, people are recreating it. It's been reposted a million times. So if you've not seen it, go and watch it. It's there is no words. We just hope Aidan and Seb, you do that celebration when either of you score. Lightly, Seb. No offence, Aidan, but we have seen your wayward shots from outside the box. But I really do hope you get a goal this season. There was that one where you hit the post. It ran across goal and hit the post. Gutted for that one. There was also one that hit the bar. Oh, Aidan, we're just waiting for that goal. We're waiting. We're rooting for you. Hopefully we can get a goal from the American trio. That'd be even better. And we can recreate the Garnacho, Mainu, I don't remember who the other one was, where they kind of sat on the side on the advertisement board for Man United. If we could recreate that with the trio of Americans for Borough, that'd be awesome. But yeah, Berhalter, classic box to box. He can play as a DM. He says he likes to play diags, switch the ball. He likes to play out passes. So hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm not going to say it outright, but this guy could be our Hackney replacement. He could be the Hackney replacement. And with that dynamic that he's already got with experience playing with Aidan at Columbus Crew and through the national team, I'm just really hoping these two can do some magic in the middle of the park for Borough. If Hellberg can get the best out of those two, Borough might have the best championship pairing 2 seasons in a row. So, really looking forward to seeing how he can do there. He did get an assist, as far as I'm aware, with Leo against Espanyol in pre-season. I wasn't able to watch the game because it wasn't streaming, but I did watch the highlights, the clips that Borough uploaded. Berhalter crossed the ball in from a corner. Leo Castine, diving header, puts it in. Absolute magic. Can't wait to see what Berhalter's got in store for next season. I should say the upcoming season. I might say next season. I might say this season. I just mean the season that's coming up. Now, my dark horse. This man right here, Archie Baptiste. A lot of people are thinking, how do you know Archie Baptiste? Football Manager. I'm just going to say it. Football Manager. This guy for me on Football Manager was the starting centre-back. Archie Baptiste was my go-to centre-back. I signed him on every career mode that I had. I started him for Borough. I started him for loads of teams that I took over. Archie Baptiste was one of my absolute favourite defenders to use on FM. He's a young talent. I think we should have kept hold of him, especially letting Dale Fry go. We need defensive reinforcements, and he's still young. He's still got bags of potential. Maybe we can sign him back, but I don't know. A lot of the Borough Academy players rarely ever break through. Hackney, Dale are the two notable ones of modern era. But Cruz Ebe, we're waiting on. He's shown some promise, and hopefully we'll be able to deliver this season. Hopefully he gets a few more opportunities. Law McCabe, I'd love to see Law come into the squad. We saw glimpses against Espanyol with Finn Cartwright, looking like a really good talent. So hopefully we can keep hold of him. But we've got a few other ones. George McCormick, of course. We've got as well Josh Dede that we signed from Celtic. Hopefully he can do a decent job as well. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. There are a few other ones in there that I'm sure I haven't mentioned. If you've got any that we should keep an eye on, please leave a comment down below. And yeah, we'll maybe do a cover for like the under 21s or whatever. See if we can get any rising stars. Have a look at the rising stars of Borough. Kind of get some opinions on it as well. If you also want me to cover the Borough women's team, I'd be more than happy to do that. So if you want to see the Borough women's team as well, I can do that. Just of course let me know down below. I don't know much about the women's team. I have gone to see them in person. I have gone to a few of their games, and they were really good when I went to see them. And they even signed the shirt that I'm wearing right now. Sadly, the vinyl did peel. I have kept the vinyl, but some of the signatures have faded. But yes, they did sign this very shirt that I'm wearing right now. I've not yet got the new shirts. We've always had a problem with distribution and suppliers and stuff. We thought switching over to Castore would fix it, but so a lot of Borough fans are grabbing the shirts this season. Before we jump into a few more players, this season I don't think the shirts are all that nice. In all honesty, the home shirt is very basic. For our 150th anniversary, you really hope that we would do something special. Something really nice. But it's okay. It's an okay shirt. It's not horrible. It's just very basic. And with our new badge as well, you just kind of want a shirt that, you'd remember. And it's kind of hard to say, but it's probably a shirt we're going to remember for the wrong reasons. It's just a bit basic is all. The away shirt, I think it looks like a picnic blanket. I mean, it's a white shirt with like blue dots on the side. Some people like it. I think it is a nod to one of our old kits, but I'm not a massive fan. People think that it's actually our best kit, but personally I'm not a fan. I do prefer the home shirt. And then you've got our third shirt, which is the yellow one, which we've clearly just swiped off Oxford. I mean, we're swiping Oxford players, so why not their kit as well? But yeah, just a blue shirt. A yellow shirt with blue sleeves, very much similar to the away shirt, but instead of it being polka dotted, it's just blue. I will try and find them up on here if I can. And our fourth shirt, which I don't think we'll ever wear, is just purely blue. Even the badge you can't even see, so I don't know why we've bothered making that kit. But yeah, that's my opinion on the kits anyway. Anyway, let's get back into the transfers, because that's what we're here for at the end of the day, isn't it? Let's talk about the Borough transfers. John McLaughlin, as we said, has stayed on. Sorry for that. Sonny Finch, one of our youngsters, has gone out to South Shields. Free transfer. Yeah, again, we're just letting these youth players go. Just letting them go, which is a real shame. Finchy has been with us for a while. He's been out on loan. I think he was out on loan at MK. Was he at MK Dons? Let me just check that. Yes, he was. Ball knowledge that. MK Dons. He was out on loan at MK Dons, and now he's gone to South Shields after being on loan to them last season, where he made 23 appearances, scoring 7 goals. Go on, Finchy. So he's joined South Shields. Yeah, good luck to him. 21 years old as well. obviously just wasn't going to get much game time. And our latest transfer news, Max Austin has joined the Borough. If you're a Borough fan, like most of you, we've been waiting for this for 2 seasons. We've been we're going after Max Austin. We're getting Max Austin. And it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen. Obviously, Max Austin was a high priority target. We needed a left back. Alex Bangura is just injured all the time. He's injury prone. Ever since that Chelsea game where we lost, was it 6-1? I think that's the game. It was either that game or the 1-0 defeat before. Alex Bangura took a knock. I think it might have been Kukurea, but I don't know. I don't remember much about that game other than us winning. Hackney obviously scoring the goal. They gave us the win in the first leg. But yeah, Alex Bangura took a nasty knock and he's just not been the same player since. Obviously Tiggs came in, Matty Targett came in last season on loan from Newcastle. He wasn't going to stay at Newcastle. He said outright himself that he didn't want to stay at Newcastle. So a lot of Borough fans were thinking that he was going to sign for us. He ended up signing for Hull City, as far as I'm aware. Bit rogue, considering they've already got Ryan Giles, who I'd happily take back, because he's from my hometown. So is a certain Welsh manager that we will not talk about. So Ryan Giles from my hometown, Telford, played for Telford, AFC Telford United as well. So I'd love to have Ryan Giles back at the Borough, but of course they've got Ryan and Tiggs now, so it is what it is. We thought he'd all sign on, like I said, but wasn't to be. So we are looking for a left back, of course, to roll in with Bangura. George McCormick isn't ready for the Championship just yet, so we went out and got Max Austin. With Helberg, we're not sure quite yet what his tactics are. He could play a 3-back, he could play a 4-2-3-1 like he was playing last season. So Max Austin likely will be playing as a wing-back, as a left-sided defensive wing-back. But we're just all very much looking forward to seeing what Max can do in the Championship. Let's have a look at those stats, just briefly. 4 goals, 4 assists, started 17 games from Columbus Crew. I mean, Columbus rate him a lot. I've seen fans say you're getting a really good player here. He's played 114 games for Columbus Crew, scoring 20 goals over his career. So, yeah, we'll take him. He looks class. He's played 21 games, apparently for the US national team. Since January of 2025. He will of course play against Messi, which is awesome. He's probably played against Suarez, Busquets, Jordi Alba, so he's already played against half of prime Barcelona. And of course, I think he would have played against Adilson Melandra as well, when of course he was at Charlotte. So they'll obviously know each other. He knows Aiden and he knows Seb as well, so we've got a really good dynamic with players at the minute. Turning 25 as well. So yeah, that is it at the minute for current transfers. We have of course been linked to Radek Vitek from Manchester United. I think that has been confirmed, but that hasn't updated. We're going to switch over here to the rumours. There you go, Radek Vitek, right here from Manchester United. Estimated fee for around 5.6 million. I think it's actually more than that. I swear it's about 7 million with 7 million in add-ons. But yeah, I mean, spent time out on loan at Bristol City. I mean, 41 matches, 12 clean sheets, 54 goals conceded, which sounds like a lot of goals, but you got to remember it's a long season. 1 yellow. I mean, how tall is he? 196 centimetres. What's that, like 6'5", something like that. Yeah, we needed a keeper. Nothing against Sol Bridman, but he had a few flaky games. I mean, we all remember that penalty save that he made. I mean, I was there for that game. I was in the stadium for that, and oh my god, when he made that save, the crowd just erupted. It was probably one of the best moments of that season. And that was only like a few weeks after we lost 4-0 at home to Doncaster. But I'm not going to talk about that either. That's also a memory of last season I'd rather forget. But yeah, Vitek is looking likely that he'll be signing for the Borough. So that'll be very nice to see a new number one keeper, hopefully with Solbrin rotating behind him. Morgan Whittaker. This is our main topic for today. Morgan Whittaker. I'm stumbling over my words now. I've been talking for a while. Whittaker's looking likely to be joining West Ham for a reported fee estimated around 15 million. Probably some add-ons in there as well. Again, it's a massive chunk of change for us, to kind of reinvest elsewhere. Hopefully we're going to save some money for the January transfer window, because like I said earlier in the video, usually that's when we pick up all of our injuries, and maybe we'll see some stuff throughout the early stages of the season where we'll think, we've not really invested there, like potentially getting a replacement right back. Callum Britton's great, but we haven't really got any backup outside of Luke Ayling, who is 33 now, and even though he's 33, he's still great. Bill is he's the guy. He's just super reliable. Maybe we'll look at another centre back, maybe another holding midfielder to kind of rotate with the trio. Aidan Morris, Berhalter. Maybe we'll bring somebody else in. But yeah, overall, Borough have had a really fantastic transfer window so far. As I believe, I'm not going to say this 100% because it's not confirmed yet, but I have seen that Kali Sen might be leaving to join the Swiss League, and as well we are linked heavily, and I think it has been confirmed in the last few hours, Ashley Phillips of Tottenham has joined the Borough. So let's just go and have a look quickly at Ashley Phillips. Sorry, terrible spelling. Ashley Phillips, Tottenham, 21 years old. Yet again, really tall. I think he's about 6'4". 1 assist, 36 games started, 40 matches overall in the Championship. 0 goals for a tall guy who's probably going to get on some crosses. If Britain can whip in his crosses, McGree. We've got tons of players that can whip in a good cross. Berhalter on set pieces, which he has said outright that he likes to take. So hopefully he will be our dedicated set piece taker next this upcoming season. Yes, hopefully he will get some goals. That is it for the transfers. But if we just hold on there, we will build a starting 11. Okay, is it going to let us build the starting 11? So let me just move my camera out of the way. Sorry guys. Is it going to... I could have sworn I've built my starting 11 on here before. It doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like we're going to be able to build a starting 11, which is a bit of a shame. Maybe we need the app for it. This is obviously just the web app. I'm also not signed in. So why not? Let's build one on foot.gg. Build one on GG. Never mind. I'll just cut that bit out of the video. Anyway, apologies for that. Couldn't seem to load one up, which is a bit of a shame. Ah, we got it. We got it. I'll just fuse them together. So if it seems like I've just been cut off randomly, I've just kind of sorted that out. But yeah, let's build a lineup. Let's build it in the 4-2-3-1. Starting in goal, I think we will go with. Sorry, let me just move my camera back up here. We will go with Radel Vitek in goal. Right back, we will go with Callum Britton. Centre backs with Adilson Malander. Can't spell. And Ashley Phillips. Not Calvin Phillips, Ashley Phillips. Left back, we will go for Max Arfston. Already, class defence. Alfie Jones rotates in there with those centre backs. Right CDM, we will go with Aidan Morris, who has a older brother called Jake, who's playing for St. Louis in the MLS. Maybe he will join Borough, who knows. Joining him in midfielder is his fellow countryman Sebastian Berhalter. On the right hand side, for the time being, I'm going to put Jeremy. Actually, I'm not going to put Jeremy Sarmiento. Sorry, Jeremy. I'm going to put Riley McGree actually on this side. I know it's a bit unorthodox playing him this side, but I have got somebody else I want to play on the left, and that man is of course Tommy Conway. I mean, I've been a big supporter of TC for a while. I know he's not been too great in terms of form and goal scoring ability, but I think ever since we've been playing him as a winger, he's been so much better. So I'm keeping him in the team, but of course it's up to personal preference. I think in the middle, I personally am going to go for Carl Joseph. I think he can definitely play that 10 role. And up top, I don't think there's anybody else, that's gonna start other than Will Lancashire. Strelic is decent, but I think if we're going to rely on Lancashire to score us those goals that we want and that we've brought him in for, he's going to have to start a majority of the games. So this is the squad we've gone for. We've gone for the 4-2-3-1 with Vitek, Britton, Malander, Phillips, Arfston, Berhalter, Morris, McGree, Joseph, Conway and Lancashire to round it off. So that has been the transfer news of the Riverside review. If you have enjoyed, please do subscribe, like the video, and yeah, follow me for more content. We will have a video out after the result of the Wrexham Carabao Cup game, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. I do not know which is which. There's too many cups going on. But yeah, I will have a video out after the Wrexham game, and of course we will have one after our first game against Lincoln City. So, I've been Cal, and this has been the Riverside Review. Up the Borough.